Most men accumulate dozens of habits attempting to optimize every domain separately. Morning routine for productivity, evening routine for sleep, weekend routine for relationships, special routine for health, creating exhausting system requiring constant maintenance that eventually collapses under its own complexity. Samurai understood opposite principle. 7 fundamental habits executed daily create systematic excellence across all life domains, simultaneously through compound interdependence rather than isolated optimization. But these 7 habits must be implemented in specific sequence because habit 3 depends on foundation established by habit 1. And attempting habit 6 before mastering habit 2 creates dangerous pattern that appears disciplined but actually reinforces fundamental weakness, making you more vulnerable, not less. Modern self-improvement culture teaches habit stacking and optimization. Samurai teaching is habit integration and simplification, fewer practices executed with absolute consistency, creating superior results through depth rather than breadth of execution. Context: Musashi lived by 7 daily practices for 40 consecutive years without single exception, creating legendary capability through accumulated consistency rather than dramatic periodic effort. These weren't arbitrary habits selected for convenience. Each habit addresses specific dimension of complete warrior capability: physical foundation, mental clarity, strategic execution, social positioning, continuous adaptation, spiritual grounding, systematic elimination, all integrated, creating comprehensive life architecture rather than disconnected practices. Why 7 specifically matters strategically. Fewer than 7 leaves critical dimension unaddressed, creating exploitable weakness. More than 7 dilutes focus, preventing mastery of fundamentals. 7 represents minimum complete system: physical, mental, strategic, social, adaptive, spiritual, eliminative, covering all dimensions necessary for constructed life rather than reactive existence. Understanding why sequence matters prevents common implementation failure, where enthusiasm creates simultaneous attempt at all 7 habits, producing overwhelm and collapse within 2 weeks. Habit 1. Dawn Mastery. Habit 1 establishes physical foundation through non-negotiable dawn ritual. Wake exact same time daily. Train body immediately. Dawn Mastery creates 3 strategic advantages simultaneously. First, it establishes undeniable daily proof of discipline. You proved control capacity before mind fully activated, creating psychological momentum carrying through entire day. Second, it optimizes hormonal environment through morning cortisol spike alignment and training-induced testosterone elevation, setting physiological state for peak performance. Third, it removes largest decision burden from your day. Training happened automatically before decision-making became available, eliminating primary excuse generation mechanism. Most people negotiate training daily. Too tired, too busy, conditions aren't optimal. Training becomes optional based on circumstances. Dawn Mastery makes training automatic through timing. It happens before negotiation capacity exists. Consider career advancement requiring consistent high performance. Common approach is attempting peak performance when feeling motivated, producing sporadic excellence interrupted by mediocre days when motivation fails. Dawn Mastery approach means establishing physical foundation, creating consistent high baseline performance regardless of motivation state. Because hormonal optimization and psychological momentum from completed training elevate all subsequent performance automatically. Same career trajectory achieved through systematic foundation rather than unreliable motivation dependence. Reality check moment. Pause and assess yourself honestly. When alarm sounds tomorrow morning, do you stand immediately and begin training? Or do you negotiate with yourself about whether today requires training based on how you feel or what schedule demands? Most men choose negotiation over execution, which is precisely why they experience unreliable performance. They've built optionality into foundation, making everything built upon it unstable. Recognizing this tendency is first step toward establishing genuine dawn mastery. Implementation requires 3 specific commitments. Choose exact wake time, maintaining consistently, including weekends. Position alarm requiring physical standing to disable eliminating snooze option. Execute 15-minute minimum training within 5 minutes of waking. Push-ups, body weight sequence, anything creating exertion before mind generates resistance. Track daily completion on visible calendar, creating chain of consistency, proving commitment. This foundation makes every subsequent habit more achievable through established momentum and hormonal optimization. Transition. Dawn mastery establishes physical foundation and daily momentum. But physical capability without mental clarity creates directionless energy. Strength applied to wrong objectives wastes power. Habit 2 solves this problem by establishing strategic clarity, determining where physical capability directs. Habit 2, strategic silence. Habit 2 establishes mental clarity through daily strategic silence practice. 20 minutes minimum, complete stillness, mental observation without reaction. Strategic silence develops fundamental capability underlying all effective action. Attention control and metacognition, creating space between stimulus and response where conscious choice becomes possible. Most people operate on automatic reaction. Desire arises and they act immediately. Problem appears and they respond reflexively. Opportunity presents and they decide impulsively. This reactive mode eliminates strategic thinking because you're constantly responding to immediate circumstances rather than operating from deliberate plan. Silence practice creates gap between stimulus and response. By training observation of mental content without automatic reaction to it, you notice desire arising without immediately pursuing it. You observe thought appearing without automatically believing it. You experience impulse generating without reflexively following it. This gap is where strategic capability exists, conscious deliberate choice rather than automatic unconscious reaction. Why this matters becomes clear when examining decision quality differences. Person operating reactively makes decisions based on immediate emotional state and circumstantial pressure, producing inconsistent results, reflecting mood fluctuation rather than stable values. Person operating from silence-trained metacognition makes decisions from calm assessment of situation against deliberate objectives, producing consistent results, reflecting chosen strategy regardless of emotional state or immediate circumstances. Research confirms meditation practice measurably improves decision-making quality, impulse control, and emotional regulation through enhanced prefrontal function and reduced amygdala reactivity. Silence practice literally rewires brain toward strategic thinking. Consider relationship management, requiring consistent, appropriate response rather than emotional reactivity. Reactive approach means responding to partner's behavior based on immediate feeling. They criticize and you defend automatically, they withdraw and you pursue reflexively, creating predictable pattern they can exploit or that creates escalating conflict. Strategic silence approach means observing your emotional reaction arising, creating pause before responding, then choosing response aligned with relationship objectives rather than immediate emotional impulse. This produces dramatically different relationship dynamics, where you remain strategically positioned rather than emotionally controlled. Implementation requires establishing exact daily time, protecting silence practice from interruption. Early morning after training works well. Find quiet space, eliminating external distraction. Sit comfortably with straight posture. Practice breath awareness. Notice each inhale and exhale without controlling breath. When attention wanders, return to breath without judgment. Do not attempt stopping thoughts or achieving blank mind. This is observation practice, not suppression practice. Notice all mental content arising and passing without reacting to it. After 20 minutes, return today with enhanced clarity and reduced reactivity. Transition. Strategic silence establishes mental clarity and conscious choice capacity. But clarity without execution produces understanding without results. You know what should be done, but don't actually do it. Habit 3 solves this problem by establishing systematic execution, converting clarity into concrete results. Habit 3, priority, execution. Fixed strategy makes you predictable. Predictable makes you defeatable. Priority execution makes you effective. Habit 3 establishes priority execution through daily most important task completion when capability is maximum. Identify single critical outcome. Execute immediately after silence practice. Complete before any reactive activity. Priority execution addresses fundamental productivity problem. Diffusion of effort across many activities producing busy days without meaningful progress. Most people fill days with responsive activities, feeling productive while avoiding difficult, important work, requiring focused effort and accepting potential failure. Email responses feel productive because they create visible activity and immediate completion satisfaction. Strategic project work feels difficult because it requires sustained focus, offers no immediate feedback, and carries failure risk. This creates psychological trap where you spend entire day on responsive activities feeling busy but accomplishing nothing strategically important. Priority execution breaks this pattern by requiring completion of most important task first, before email, before meetings, before any responsive activity, ensuring strategic work happens regardless of how day subsequently unfolds. Why morning execution timing matters strategically becomes clear examining willpower depletion research. Willpower functions like muscle depleting through use. Every decision requiring self-control consumes willpower reserve, making subsequent decisions progressively harder until reserve exhausts, completely causing collapse into impulsive automatic behavior. Morning represents peak willpower state after overnight recovery. Executing most difficult task when willpower is maximum ensures completion. Delaying difficult task until afternoon means executing when willpower has depleted through accumulated daily decisions, making failure likely. Additionally, morning execution creates psychological momentum, completing most difficult task. Early proves capability building confidence, making remaining challenges feel manageable by comparison. Consider business development requiring consistent outreach despite frequent rejection. Reactive approach means doing outreach when feeling confident after easier tasks complete, which often means not doing outreach because easier tasks consume entire day and rejection risk feels worse when tired. Priority execution approach means doing outreach first thing after silence practice, when willpower is maximum and before easier tasks can consume energy, ensuring consistent execution regardless of how you feel or what other demands appear. This produces dramatically different business results through systematic execution rather than mood-dependent activity. Reality check moment. Examine your typical day honestly. What time do you complete your most important or difficult task? If answer is afternoon or evening, you're executing at lowest willpower state, making failure most likely. If answer is, I don't identify most important task, you're operating reactively, letting circumstances determine your activities rather than operating strategically, determining your own priorities. Most men fall into one of these patterns, which is precisely why they work extremely hard, producing minimal strategic progress. Effort without priority execution creates activity without advancement. Implementation requires evening preparation, identifying tomorrow's most important task specifically. Write it down clearly, defining completion criteria, eliminating ambiguity. Tomorrow, after silence practice, execute that task immediately. No email first, no easy warm-up tasks, no meetings before completion. Those are procrastination disguised as productivity. They consume willpower and time, leaving nothing for what actually matters. Protect first 3 hours after silence for priority task execution. Track daily completion, noting whether task completed and what interfered if not. This establishes systematic progress on strategic objectives rather than reactive, busy work. Transition. Priority execution establishes systematic progress on important objectives. But execution capability without strategic positioning means working hard in wrong direction, producing effort without advantage. Habit 4 solves this problem by establishing strategic social positioning, multiplying effectiveness through relationship leverage. Habit 4, strategic connection. Habit 4 establishes strategic social positioning through deliberate daily relationship cultivation. 15 minutes minimum. Specific valuable contribution. Genuine interest expressed. Strategic connection addresses fundamental effectiveness limitation. Individual capability ceiling exists regardless of personal excellence, but relationship leverage removes ceiling entirely, creating multiplicative rather than additive results. You alone have 24 hours daily maximum energy, specific skill set. This creates absolute ceiling on what you can accomplish individually, no matter how disciplined or skilled. Strategic relationships provide access to others' time, energy, and capabilities, creating leverage where your initiative produces results, exceeding your personal capacity through coordinated effort or preferential access or knowledge transfer. Additionally, strategic positioning provides opportunity flow. Most valuable opportunities never reach public market because they're filled through relationships before general announcement, meaning positioning in right networks provides first access to opportunities invisible to those outside network. Why daily cultivation rather than periodic networking matters becomes clear examining relationship dynamics. Relationships require consistent investment to maintain strength. Periodic intense networking creates shallow connections that decay rapidly between contacts, producing weak network, unable to generate substantial value. Daily brief cultivation creates strong relationships through accumulated consistent investment, producing network, providing continuous value flow and genuine mutual support. Additionally, daily practice removes stakes from any single interaction. You're not desperately networking, trying to extract immediate value. You're consistently contributing value, building reputation and relationships that generate returns over time through compound relationship investment. Consider career transition, requiring access to opportunities and decision makers in target domain. Common approach is intensive networking when transition becomes urgent, contacting many people, simultaneously requesting assistance or information, creating desperate energy that repels rather than attracts help. Strategic connection approach means cultivating relationships in target domain continuously before transition becomes urgent, providing value, demonstrating genuine interest, building reputation. So when transition moment arrives, you have established network, providing information, introductions, and opportunities naturally through existing strong relationships, rather than needing to build relationships under pressure when you most need them. Implementation requires identifying 3 to 5 strategic relationships to cultivate currently. People positioned to provide value through their knowledge, network, or capabilities, and to whom you can provide reciprocal value. Daily spend 15 minutes minimum providing value to one person. Share relevant article, make helpful introduction, offer specific assistance, express genuine appreciation for their work. Do not ask for anything immediately. This is investment phase building relationship capital that generates returns over time. Track interactions, noting which relationships are strengthening and which require increased attention. This establishes genuine network, providing continuous opportunity flow and support rather than desperate periodic requests when needs arise urgently. Transition. Strategic connection establishes relationship leverage, multiplying individual effectiveness through network positioning. But strategic positioning without continuous adaptation means optimizing for current environment that changes, constantly creating obsolescence. Habit 5 solves this problem by establishing systematic adaptation, maintaining relevance through continuous evolution. Habit 5. Continuous evolution. Habit 5 establishes continuous evolution through systematic skill development and strategic updating. 30 minutes daily, deliberate practice targeting specific capability gaps, progressive difficulty maintaining challenge. Continuous evolution addresses fundamental problem most people never solve. They develop specific capability set early, then maintain that set, indefinitely becoming progressively obsolete as environment changes and competitors advance. You master certain skills, build identity around those skills, then resist learning new skills because it threatens identity and requires acknowledging current limitations. This creates strategic vulnerability, where your historical advantages become liabilities as environment evolves, market shifts, technology advances, competitors innovate, strategies become obsolete. If you're not evolving continuously, you're regressing relatively, even if maintaining absolute capability, because environment and competition are advancing whether you advance or not. Why daily practice rather than periodic learning matters becomes clear examining skill acquisition research. Skills develop through consistent practice over extended time rather than through intensive periodic effort. Playing piano 1 hour daily for 100 days produces dramatically superior results compared to playing piano 10 hours daily for 10 consecutive days, despite identical total practice time, because skill acquisition requires neural consolidation occurring during rest periods between practices rather than during extended practice sessions. Daily practice provides optimal spacing for consolidation, maximizing learning efficiency. Additionally, daily practice maintains continuous momentum, preventing complete restarts. 30 minutes daily maintains forward progress indefinitely, while periodic intensive learning requires overcoming startup friction each time. Consider technological change requiring continuous learning to maintain professional relevance. Reactive approach is ignoring new technologies until they become dominant and essential, then attempting crash course learning under pressure when everyone else is already proficient. Continuous evolution approach means allocating 30 minutes daily to learning emerging technologies before they become essential, experimenting with new tools, following technical developments, building capabilities proactively. So when technology becomes mainstream, you're already proficient rather than struggling to catch up desperately. This produces fundamentally different career trajectory through strategic positioning rather than reactive learning. Reality check moment. Examine your capability development honestly. Are you measurably more capable today than 6 months ago in strategically important dimensions? Or have you maintained static skill set while environment and competition advanced around you? Most men discover they've stagnated completely despite feeling busy and productive. They're executing existing capabilities well, but not developing new capabilities, making them progressively obsolete. Recognizing stagnation is first step toward establishing systematic evolution, preventing strategic irrelevance. Implementation requires identifying specific capability gaps, limiting strategic objectives currently. Choose one capability for 30-day focused development. Allocate 30 minutes daily to deliberate practice, specifically targeting that capability. Not casual reading about it, but active practice with immediate feedback and progressive difficulty. Track measurable progress weekly. Noting concrete capability improvement. After 30 days, proficiency in selected capability will have increased substantially. Repeat process with next priority capability. This establishes continuous evolution, maintaining strategic relevance rather than gradual obsolescence through stagnation. Transition. Continuous evolution establishes capability adaptation, preventing obsolescence through systematic development. But adaptation without purpose creates directionless change. You're learning constantly, but not moving toward deliberate destination. Habit 6 solves this problem by establishing spiritual grounding, providing direction and meaning to accumulated capability. Habit 6. Spiritual grounding. Habit 6 establishes spiritual grounding through daily mortality contemplation and values alignment. 10 minutes minimum. Death meditation creating urgency. Values review ensuring alignment. Spiritual grounding addresses fundamental problem, creating widespread dissatisfaction despite apparent success. You achieve objectives but feel empty because objectives were selected based on social expectation rather than genuine values, creating accomplishment without fulfillment. Additionally, spiritual grounding creates existential urgency, making trivial temptations feel obviously unimportant compared to meaningful pursuits. Normal state is treating life as infinite resource, making every momentary pleasure feel justified, and long-term objectives feel abstract and distant. Death meditation reverses this, creating emotional reality of limited time, making long-term, meaningful pursuits feel urgent, and immediate gratifications feel wasteful of precious, finite resource. Why daily practice rather than periodic reflection matters becomes clear examining behavioral change mechanisms. Single intense reflection session creates temporary perspective shift, producing short bursts of aligned behavior that gradually fades as daily pressures reassert normal patterns. Daily brief practice maintains continuous perspective, preventing drift back to default patterns through consistent reinforcement. Additionally, daily practice creates accumulated deepening. First sessions feel intellectual and abstract. After 30 consecutive days, practice becomes emotionally real, fundamentally shifting how you experience choices and priorities. Consider common pattern of achieving conventional success, feeling unfulfilled. You reach income target, attain status position, acquire possessions, and experience not satisfaction, but emptiness, questioning what you're actually building and why. This happens when pursuing objectives defined by external expectation rather than internal values. Spiritual grounding practice means daily reviewing your core values, asking whether your current pursuits express those values, and contemplating whether deathbed self would approve of how you're spending this specific day. This produces natural correction toward aligned pursuits because misalignment becomes obviously wrong rather than vaguely uncomfortable. Implementation requires establishing daily spiritual grounding ritual, preferably evening after priority execution completes. Spend 5 minutes contemplating mortality. Death could come unexpectedly today, making remaining time precious and limited. Every choice to pursue trivial gratification is choosing to waste irreplaceable resource. Then spend 5 minutes reviewing core values, asking whether today's actions expressed those values genuinely or contradicted them through convenience or social pressure. Write brief reflection, noting where alignment existed and where correction is needed tomorrow. This establishes continuous course correction toward meaningful aligned life rather than drift toward conventional empty success. A transition. Spiritual grounding establishes purpose and direction, preventing empty achievement of wrong objectives. but accumulated capability, relationships, and purpose creates complexity, requiring systematic simplification. Habit 7 solves this problem by establishing continuous elimination, preventing complexity accumulation that eventually creates paralysis. Habit 7. Systematic elimination. Habit 7 establishes systematic elimination through weekly review, removing one element not serving primary mission. One commitment declined. One possession eliminated. One activity stopped. Systematic elimination addresses fundamental problem most people never solve. Continuous addition without corresponding subtraction, creating accumulated complexity, consuming all available bandwidth, leaving nothing for what matters most strategically. You accept new commitment without declining existing one. You acquire new possession without eliminating old one. You start new activity without stopping existing one. Each addition consumes resources, decision-making energy, physical space, mental bandwidth, time allocation. Eventually, you're maintaining so many elements there's no capacity remaining for strategic action, despite being constantly busy. Every hour is allocated, every surface is covered, every minute is committed. You're working extremely hard, producing minimal progress, because resources are diffused across too many commitments, preventing focused execution on few critical objectives. Why weekly elimination, rather than periodic decluttering matters, becomes clear examining accumulation dynamics. Without systematic elimination, elements accumulate continuously until crisis forces dramatic purge, creating cycle of accumulation, purge accumulation, rather than maintained simplicity. Weekly elimination prevents accumulation by removing elements as fast as they attempt entering, creating maintained simplicity through consistent practice. Additionally, weekly practice develops discrimination capability. You become progressively better at identifying what deserves inclusion versus what should be refused immediately, rather than accepting everything then suffering consequences of overcommitment. Consider calendar dynamics, where every free slot becomes opportunity for someone else's priority to consume your time. Without systematic protection, you become reactive schedule, serving others' agendas rather than your own. Reactive approach is accepting requests until calendar fills completely, then feeling overwhelmed, wondering why you have no time for strategic work. Systematic elimination approach is maintaining protected calendar blocks for strategic priorities and systematically declining requests even when they're reasonable and you have calendar space, because maintaining margin is strategic necessity, not luxury to fill whenever possible. Implementation requires establishing weekly review session. Sunday evening works well, examining all commitments, possessions, and activities currently maintained. Identify one element not serving primary mission directly. Decline that commitment, eliminate that possession, stop that activity. Do not justify keeping it because it's not actively harmful. Threshold isn't harmful. Threshold is essential to primary mission. If it's not essential, it's eliminated. This feels difficult initially because we're conditioned to accumulate and preserve. After 30 consecutive weeks of elimination practice, you've removed 30 non-essential elements and developed discrimination capability, making future additions rare and deliberate, rather than automatic and thoughtless. Sequential implementation. Protocol. These 7 habits must be implemented sequentially, not simultaneously, to prevent overwhelm causing failure. Week 1 through 2. Establish habit 1. Dawn mastery, executing perfectly until automatic. Week 3 through 4. Add habit 2, strategic silence, maintaining habit 1. Week 5 through 6. Add habit 3, priority execution, maintaining previous 2 habits. Week 7 through 8, add habit 4, strategic connection, maintaining previous 3. Week 9 through 10, add habit 5, continuous evolution, maintaining previous 4. Week 11 through 12, add habit 6, spiritual grounding, maintaining previous 5. Week 13 through 14, add habit 7, systematic elimination, completing integration. After 14 weeks, all 7 habits operate systematically, creating comprehensive life architecture. Physical foundation through dawn mastery, mental clarity through strategic silence, strategic progress through priority execution, relationship leverage through strategic connection, capability adaptation through continuous evolution, purpose direction through spiritual grounding. Maintain simplicity through systematic elimination. This isn't casual improvement through comfortable practices. This is systematic life construction through disciplined daily habits most people refuse to execute because difficulty feels unbearable initially. But difficulty is precisely what creates transformation. Comfortable practices produce comfortable results. Difficult practices produce exceptional results through demonstrated capability handling what others avoid.